right, let's talk about one of the most fundamental and maybe one of the most overlooked parts of your digital security, the firewall. It's kind of like this silent guard that's on duty 24/7, and you might not even know it's there. So let's pull back the curtain. I mean, think about it like this for a second. You wouldn't leave your house for the day without locking the front door, would you? Of course not. Well, connecting to the internet without any protection, it's pretty much the same thing. You're just leaving your digital front door wide open for anyone to wander in. And that's exactly where this all comes in. To protect that digital door, every single network, yours, mine, everybody's, needs a security guard. A really vigilant, rule-following guard that stands right between your devices and the massive, sometimes pretty chaotic, world of the internet. So what is this guard? Well, we call it a firewall. And the name is actually perfect because it acts like a virtual wall. It's a barrier that separates your private network from the public internet. Its main job, its whole purpose, is to filter all the data, the traffic that's trying to come in or go out, and to make sure only the good stuff actually gets through. Okay, so this digital guard doesn't just show up in one way. You'll usually find it in two forms. First, there's the software firewall. That's a program that's installed right on your computer. Think of it like a personal bodyguard that's assigned to protect just that one device. Then you've got the hardware firewall. This is a physical piece of gear. Your home Wi-Fi router is a great example. And it acts more like a security guard at the main gate, protecting the entire property, which means every single device connected to your network. So how does this guard actually do its job? I mean, what's it looking for? Well, it all comes down to its rulebook. Let's take a look at how the most basic kind of firewall operates. First things first, we've got to understand what it's even inspecting. You see, all the data that zips around the internet travels in these little tiny units called packets. The easiest way to think about them is like digital mail or little envelopes. Each one has a source address, where it's from, a destination address, where it's going, and of course the information that's tucked inside. And the process for a basic firewall is actually pretty simple and super fast. When one of these packets arrives, the firewall gives its envelope a quick look over. It checks the source, the destination, and something called a port number. Now, a port is just like a specific doorway for a certain type of traffic, like one for web browsing, another for email. The firewall checks these details against its rules. If everything matches up, the packet is allowed through that specific doorway. If not, it's blocked. Simple as that. We call this packet filtering. But, that basic guard has one big weakness. It has a terrible memory. It treats every single packet like a total stranger, even if it's part of a conversation it just saw a millisecond ago. So, cybersecurity had to evolve and create a much, much smarter guard. This leads to a really important question. What if that guard could remember the conversations it's already approved? What if it actually had some context about what was going on? And this right here is the next big leap. That basic packet filtering firewall we just talked about is stateless, zero memory. But a stateful inspection firewall is, you guessed it, stateful. It doesn't just check the address on the envelope, it actually keeps track of all the active ongoing conversations. So if a packet arrives that's part of a conversation you already started, like you asking for a web page, it knows it's an expected reply and lets it right back in, no problem. It's just way more intelligent and because of that, way more secure. So as we start to wrap this up, let's be crystal clear about something. In the world of cybersecurity, a firewall isn't just some nice-to-have tool. It is your absolute first line of defense. So let's just quickly recap the big points, right? A firewall is that virtual barrier protecting your network. Its job is to filter traffic by checking data packets against a list of rules, looking at things like addresses and port numbers. The smarter, stateful firewalls are way better because they actually remember active connections. And remember, you've got these guards both as software on your computer and as hardware protecting your whole network. I really want this to sink in. Having a firewall running is not optional. It's not a suggestion. Whether it's the one that's already built into your computer's operating system or the one inside your router, it is an absolutely essential, non-negotiable part of being safe online today. And that leaves us with one last thought for you to take away. Your digital guard is on duty right now, protecting you as you watch this. But do you know what rules it's following? It might actually be worth taking a peek into your computer's security settings just to find out. Thanks for diving into this with me.